Hello, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to hopefully go fairly quickly through the plan for December 2025, talk about what I can and can't actually probably get accomplished on a couple places, and what the non-negotiables kind of are. So, first up, book clubs. There are a lot of book clubs. As you can see, two of them are completely blacked out. We're not going to be doing those at all. Both of those clubs have said that they are not going to do anything for December because December is a very, very busy time. But the other ones are actively moving forwards with another book. I may or may not be able to actually do them though. So the first one is The Christmas You Found Me. And I do plan on finishing that one. I'm still waiting for it from the library, but I should get it before the end of the month according to the timeline. So far as long as nothing changes, that is a planned book. The Family Game, I've already started this one, so it is definitely going to be finished in December. It is officially December the 1st, by the way. So started it today in December, and we'll finish it in the next couple of days, depending on. I'm a bit of a mood reader. Don't know if I mentioned. Yes, I know I've mentioned a couple times, but depending on when I feel like it, I will finish that one up. I only have a couple of hours left of that book, most likely, so the likelihood is I'll finish it sometime this week. Christmas with the Queen. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this one in time to finish it. Unfortunately, I had a whole bunch of books already on hold, which meant I couldn't put this book on hold as early as I would have needed to do to be able to get it for short in December. So we will see. If I get it in time, I will try to fit it in, but with everything else going on, it's not going to be a prioritized book for me, especially since it's historical fiction. And I don't absolutely love historical fiction. It's not my absolute favorite, but it is going to go on to next year's catch-up list on the priorities list in case I don't finish it. All right, then we get to romance. This one is The Merriest Misters, and I also don't know that I'm going to get this one in time. It'll go on the list for next month if I don't. I have a lot to read this month, so most of these subgenres books are going to be as I have time rather than priorities for me, just because there's only so much time in the day, unfortunately. But I do plan on getting them knocked out in the new year if I don't finish them this month. The Bear and the Nightingale. I do want to read this one. It sounds very interesting. I don't know if I'll have time, but if I don't, I plan on finding a place in one of my prompts to do this one, even if there's a couple of places that might fit, even if I don't actually I complete it anyway because it's on the list. But even if I didn't, I probably would have put this one on there just because it sounds really interesting. I don't think I've read anything with this particular mythology, pantheon. I believe this one takes place in Russia or in Eastern Europe for sure, but I'm not sure. I thought it was in Russia, and there are some interesting creatures in the night, and there's a new stepmom who's saying we can't worship the old gods, now we have to the new, and there are things in the dark that are unhappy with that potentially, based on the back. I am intrigued, so yay. I'd read it anyway at some point. A Novel Christmas. This one is going to show up multiple places. I have to read this one, otherwise I miss multiple challenge things. So this one is definitely going to happen. And then, of course, I said Saturday Book Club doesn't have anything. Sci-fi book of the month is Service Model. I believe I just got this one available. I need to go into Libby and accept it today. So I will be reading that one in the next week or so. Looking forward to it. I don't know this is a book that I would normally have picked up. I do like sci-fi, but it's not I don't really read a lot of this particular like subgenre of sci-fi, so interested. Okay, so when we get to the Fable ones, Homebody doesn't have any at all. And then Forever Young has Kiki Kalira Breaks a Kingdom. If I can get this book in time, it looks like a fun read. Obviously, it's Forever Young, so it's going to be a YA or below. Usually, they typically do YA and middle grade. More YA than middle grades. And this one sounds like, I didn't actually look up to see which one it would be, but it sounds like it's right on the edge. Potentially like that high school era, or time. Why do I keep saying era? High school time period, which I guess an era is a time period. Anywho's, so this one sounds interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get to it or not, but if I don't, it'll be on next year's. Then we get to Eldritch. I will not get to this one this month. Why, you ask? This is something that sounds interesting for you. Yeah, it absolutely does, but I've not read Anathema yet, and I have to read Anathema before I can read Eldritch. So I'm kicking myself a little bit because I should have made more time for Anathema. Y'all said it was amazing. Everyone else said it was amazing, but I've been on a bit of a focus on some other projects that I haven't really finished. Some of the interesting books that have been suggested, which, to be fair, I read a lot of books, but there's just so many books out there that just sound amazing. So I can't read this one. It'll be on the list for after I read Anathema, though. I don't think I'm going to get to Anathema in December. I just don't think I have the bandwidth to do that, plus travel, plus do all of the Christmassy holiday things. Plus I have like Christmassy concerts for chorus and holiday parties, and there's just so much going on that I don't think I will have the bandwidth to do that, unfortunately. All right, monthly challenges. So, HRCYED just came out with Secret Prompt today, and it's find 2 books with the exact same title and read at least one. So I already am going to get this anyway because I found His Dark Purpose is on my list. You'll see here in a minute. Not this version of it, though. In order to finish out one of the prompts, specifically the quote prompt, I needed to read a mystery called His Dark Purpose. I literally looked up every single book I already have on my list for needing to read this month to see if I could find just one match. The only one I found was His Dark Purpose. This is a Kindle Unlimited. It says Dark Enemies to Lovers Romance. It's under 200 pages though, so hopefully it'll be a fairly quick read. And that's literally all I know about it. Just it's available. It has the same title, and it is a Dark Enemies to Lovers romance. So if you've read it, let me know. But it's the only one that matches. So if I chose something else, I would have to choose 2 books instead of 1. And I don't know that I want to do that. So I went with this one. Next up is the monthly prompt for Escape with Dolly. I told you you'd see this one again. A Novel Christmas. It is a book with something Christmassy in the title. And what can be more Christmassy than the word Christmas? All right, then the Adventures in Aeldia. For Elenis, it was a book with a ship on the cover or in the title. So I chose Rebecca Thorne's A Pirate's Life for Tea. I read the first book in this series a couple of months ago. And really, really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping it was cozy vibes on that one. So I'm hoping this one will be something similar, maybe a little bit more adventurous because pirates, but should still be fun. And then for Kira, it was just a book with a tree on the cover. Why did the version I have has a tree, but why I didn't pick the one that has the tree, I do not know. But there is a tree on the cover on the version that I have, so I don't know why I didn't choose that cover when I was putting it on there. But that's the plan currently. And then the new release is The Mating Game, which I'm hoping to get in time because otherwise I'll have to read it in January, and I'd really like to get it done in December because it's like a holiday-y book. And so that sounds like a fun maybe read when I'm home for Christmas, like off of work for a couple of days, like under some blankets, cocoa. That sounds like a fun one. Also, it's paranormal romance, which totally my game. Love that. All right, Lightfall. So I don't have to do any or all of these, but I would like to. Family game is what I chose for blue cover. And she did say we could technically like do multiples for the same. I'm going to try to do one for like all of them separate. We will see. I may switch out specifically. No, I mean, I could potentially do like blue cover and standalone, put those two as the same one and do them both for the family game instead of The Christmas You Found Me, but I'm already going to be reading The Christmas You Found Me anyway, so I may as well do them separate. 4+ rating. This is, I'm assuming I'm going to be giving The Fellowship of the Ring a 4-star rating. Whether she means like an anticipated 4-star rating or that it has to actually be rated 4-star, I don't know. I'm going with the anticipated 4-star rating, just in case it's not. But if I don't see it not being a 4-star read. Like, I've heard it's amazing. I have watched all the movies and I read The Hobbit, but I haven't actually read. Actually, is that true? Yeah, I think it is true. I think I may have read part of one of them in high school. But anyway, need to read them. So this is also one of the ones on my HRCYED. Actually, no, it's not. It's not HRCYED. It's on my 52 books connections challenge. It's the last book I need for that. Then service model, we already saw that one. That I'm choosing for 300 to 400 pages. We're doing that one for the sci-fi book club. Winter setting is Bear and the Nightingale, which I said I'm hoping to get that one in time. If not, I could literally use either the family game or The Christmas You Found Me or a number, even the mating game, for a winter setting because those are all taking place around the holidays. The new release, doing the same thing as for HRCYED because my general rule is that I will be perfectly fine using the same book for multiple challenges as long as they are not in the same challenge family. So I could use something for HRCYED and for anything in the Magical Readathon, or for 52 books, or for Alphabet Soup, or any of those, as long as I didn't do like 52 books and a 52 books mini challenge. That would be not allowed in my own brain. Like, that is not the rules. I'm pretty sure they literally say you make your own rules, do what you want, but that's my own personal rule. For white cover, I have been looking at some books that are sort of self-helpy. Some of them are related to my job, and some of them are just general, fairly quick reads, but yeah, self-help. So this one, I don't know anything about, but it was only about 5 hours long. It sounded interesting. It was about anxiety, or at least it came up when I was looking for working through anxiety, and it's called Calm the F Down. So decided to give it a go, see if I like it or not. I may love it, I may hate it, but it's a national bestseller, and why not? And then the cozy one, Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I read the first one in this series earlier in the year, thinking it was going to be a little bit different than it was. I think I thought it was going to be a mystery, and it ended up being romance is what it was. Like, I misunderstood which book I was picking up. But when I looked up cozy books, this one came up. So we will give it a go. If I start it and I realize it is not cozy for some reason, then I can use the Pirates Life for Tea book. All right, so I don't know why some of these are already up, but I'll go ahead and put them all up just so that we can have it That was weird. Finishing the yearly challenges. So, other than the stuff we've already looked at, these are books that need to get done in order to finish my challenges that I have right now. So, I already mentioned the Connections Challenge needed to get done. Already put that elsewhere. So, that's 52 Book Club Connections Challenge. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring specifically. Escape with Dolly, my title for the letter X was Xenocide. It's finally come in. I'm excited. If it didn't come in time, I was going to need to pick another book because it needs to be done before the end of the year. Then we get to the challenge yourself, that what I'm doing for HRCYED for all the rest of these. And these are for states that the books take place in. And so I have 6 more books to finish that. And technically, I don't need to finish the challenge for HRCYED. I could be like, oh, it's fine. I'll finish it in January. But I'm kind of using this challenge double duty because Alphabet Soup also has a 50-state challenge. It's 50 states plus DC. So I would like to be able to say I completed them both. And the issue I ended up doing is that I'd already started the 50 states plus DC challenge at the beginning of the year. But then when I saw that I needed to challenge yourself for HRCYED, I was like, this has been easy so far. Not a big deal. I'm just like sort of finding them naturally. I'll start over. And so I gave myself 51 books to read for this particular challenge yourself, which was more than for any other challenge within HRCYED, and not more than any other challenge generally, just within HRCYED. And it was probably not the best choice I made from a strategic perspective, but that's okay. So for Arkansas, I chose a Sugar Creek Christmas. For Delaware, Against the Rules. South Carolina, Beautiful Creatures. South Dakota, Nearly Departed in Deadwood. And then DC was The Lost Symbol. Arizona, I have put in multiple requests for books that are coming in, that are in Arizona at the library. All the other ones are either available on Hoopla or Kindle Unlimited or with no wait. But Arizona, that is not the same. They all had a wait. So I put in as many as I could put on my cards. And whichever one comes in first, that is what it's going to be for Arizona, because I need to finish it. And I don't want it to be just one book holding over into January. So maybe I will make better choices next time when it comes to strategic decisions for large challenges like this. Probably not. It's not a challenge if it's not difficult, right? But anyways, I have to get all 6 of those done in order to finish that page. So I believe the last thing on this list is the December bingo, which is for 52 books, and it looked like this. I mean, it's got prettiness around it, but I made it smaller just so you can see what it looks like, and because this is smaller. So you had to do either a vertical, a horizontal, or a diagonal line. And A Novel Christmas fits all 5 of these spots, which gives me both a vertical and a horizontal line. So I will be able to say I completed it if I read just that book. Because you needed to pick at least one book that would fit 3 prompts. You could pick one for every single book if you want to, but you needed to pick at least one book that would fit at least 3 prompts. And so I feel like as long as I get through A Novel Christmas, and I understood that, again, I'm going to listen to it one more time just to make sure I didn't misunderstand anything before the end of the month. Because if so, then I'll need to pick a few others, but I don't think it'll be a problem because, just as an example, a seasonal romance, there's at least, it doesn't say it specifically has to be for this season, and I'm reading at least 3 romances this month based on the books we've already looked through, so I'm pretty sure at least one of those is seasonal. or set in a small town. So I could move those around. And then, I could very easily make a bingo if for some reason I misunderstood it and I needed 3 books in order to do it. It's fine. But I'm pretty sure that was the explanation. I watched the video, I read the little blurb as well, and that's what I understood. So I'm going to be watching to see if maybe anybody else understood it differently. If it's just me understanding it this way, then I'll adjust it so that it works, but I don't see that being a problem. And then we're not doing any spends this month because I need to finish books for things. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of wiggle room. So my TBR spends and picks is all going to be picks this month. For HRCYED, the 3 that I needed to choose that were not already on the page earlier was Serious Staircase, which I'm not done with this yet, but I have started it. Black Tide, Dark Purpose, which we've already talked about, and then Become the Avatar. I don't have to do this one because I have already finished the picture on the cover, but this is the only one I would need to finish the title, the word on the title as well. So Airbound for that one, and then classic or banned book. This one could potentially be paused, and that is Identical, and then same for In Progress series. That could be paused if I needed to. Chosen Ice Cold Grave, and then the other challenge, I'm doing the Alphabet Soup A to Z title, which we already talked about for the other challenge, because literally there are no more challenges. Once I finish all the other ones that are needing to be wrapped up for December outside of classic and banned books, which is already its own little category there. So that is it for December. It is jam-packed, full of books, and this month in general is kind of crazy. I read, I want to say like 2/3 to 3/4 of the books, probably closer to 2/3 of the books in November that I did in October because of all the crazy that was going on in November, and I feel like that's going to be the same for December. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to stretch any more than I already have because this is already a lot of books. And if I put even more books on there, then I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get to it in time, and then I'm gonna be sad for disappointing myself because I didn't do something I thought I was gonna do, as well as any of y'all who are interested in hearing about a book that I planned on reading. So hopefully I've shown which ones I definitely plan on getting through and which ones are hopefuls. And the ones that are hopefuls that I may not get to, I'll definitely get to in the new year. I just may not get to them in December, unfortunately. But thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!